Welcome back, fellow creative. Today, I want to talk about creative process. Your creative process, my creative process, and really I just want to share with you something that really helped me do better work. It's helped me do more work, to have greater creative output, and it really has a lot to do with where I was getting bottlenecked in my creative workflow. I don't know if you're like me, but I honestly never even thought about my creative workflow until just a few years ago. I kind of just got busy creating stuff. I sat down and I just started making stuff. And over time, I just started to feel some angst about my creative process and kind of the ways that I create things. And as I started thinking about it, I started doing some reading and some learning and growing. I realized that there was this one thing that might be really helpful to me, and I'm excited to talk to you about that today. This is hopefully a very short video on this rainy Saturday. It's rainy for me. I don't know if it's rainy for you, but it's the weekend, so I just wanted to make this really short video for you. But if you're new here, welcome. I'm Jonathan. This is a place where I talk about creativity, entrepreneurship, and faith, because I really love all three of those things, and it's a place for those of you who are fellow creators who want to grow in your craft, or maybe even want to figure out ways to make income from your creative work. So let me just get right to it. The thing that has helped me the most in my creative process is realizing that there are actually three different distinct buckets in the creative process for every creator. Now, there actually might be more, and you could break this out into more, but for me, it's been helpful to sit down and to really break down my process into three different steps. And the reason why that's been helpful is because a lot of times when I sit down and I create, I am not really sure where I'm at in a particular part of the creative process. Or I'm sitting down, this is more likely, I'm sitting down and I'm trying to kind of do all three main things in my creative process at the same time. And I find myself just getting really frustrated. So let me share with you what the three buckets are. The three buckets are, first of all, capturing ideas, brainstorming ideas, coming up with ideas. That's number one. The second bucket is your first draft bucket. It's the initial, okay, I have the idea, now I'm ready to just create. Now I'm just ready to take what's in my head and put it out into the world in some way. And the third bucket is editing. So once you're ready to edit, you already have externalized the idea, you've created the first draft, and now you're ready to really super perfect this creative work that you're working on. Now, again, just simply knowing about these three buckets has been so helpful for me whenever I'm creating all kinds of things, when I'm writing content, whenever I'm making videos, whenever I'm songwriting, whenever I'm editing photos or taking photos. It's just been helpful to know that there are three different buckets in my creative process so that when I sit down, I kind of know what the goal is for this creative session. Is the goal in this creative session to just come up with ideas? Maybe, because sometimes I sit down and I'm like ready to create. I'm ready to externalize something, or I even feel pressure to externalize some kind of creative idea and turn it into a creative project. And then I feel stressed and I feel pressure because I don't have an idea. I still need to figure out what I need to figure out in order to even create something. And that happens to a lot of us. A lot of us refer to that as like having the blank page, how to get over the blank page. And the way to get over having a blank page is really to never have one to begin with, but to be really systematic about having sessions where you are specifically coming up with ideas, having a system where you're good at capturing ideas, capturing inspiration whenever you have it. That's one of the reasons why I've talked about on this channel. I've tried to get really good at taking good notes, not because I'm trying to study for some kind of exam, but because taking good notes helps me remember and really capture good ideas, good inspiration when I have them, and it helps me capture them in a way that future me can know what to even work on whenever I'm ready to sit down and operate in bucket 2. Whenever I'm ready to sit down and actually start creating my first draft, I have the ideas ready. Now I just need to pick the idea and I need to literally work on that idea. And so it can be frustrating whenever I sit down and I'm ready to make something and what I'm really needing to do is I'm needing to operate in the first bucket first. And it can also be frustrating when I'm ready to, or I'm feeling pressured to have a finished product, I'm ready to share it. I need to share my creative work. The deadline is here, but the problem is that I'm still in bucket 2. I'm still in first draft phase. And while I'm in first draft phase, I'm getting caught up because my editor brain is just like not allowing for the real flow of creativity that I need to just kind of get it all out on paper, to just get it all out of my brain. We really need that session as creative people. We need to have the session where we are coming up with ideas, we're brainstorming, we're letting our minds just kind of simmer on things that are inspiring to us. We need to have the session where we're just allowed to just put it all out there, to just start creating stuff. And we really need a third session to just refine and edit and polish the creative idea and the creative project that we're working on. I really do believe that if you can get clear on those 3 buckets, even just knowing about them is helpful, but if you can get clear on what you're trying to accomplish at any given moment within those buckets, it will help your creative process. It will help your creative work go a lot smoother. You can sit there and you can be working on your first draft, and you can find your little editor brain trying to like edit as you're creating the first draft. So then you can quiet your editor brain and you can just be like, shh, shh, shh. No, I'm coming to you. I'm coming to you, editor brain. You are coming soon. You are so helpful to me. You're so valuable to me. You're going to help make this project excellent, but it's just not time for you yet. It's not time for editor me to step in. Right now, creative me is at play. Right now, I'm just brain dumping everything. So my encouragement to you is to be aware of the 3 buckets, to ask yourself at any given time that you're creating and working on something, what bucket am I working from right now? Even if you need to work in multiple buckets within one creative session, I think that's okay as long as you kind of know what bucket you're working in at any given point. Like, I'm going to spend the first 30 minutes coming up with ideas, and then I'm going to spend the next 30 minutes creating the first draft. And then maybe the last 30 minutes I'm going to spend editing. But what can really cause a lot of angst in us and a lot of like internal roadblocks is whenever we are not clear about the process of what it takes to create something. And so we're trying to operate in all 3 buckets at once. I want to encourage you to try not to do that, to try to be aware of what you're trying to accomplish at each stage of the creative process. I just believe that will help you. I know it's been helpful to me. And that's really all I have for you today. I'm honored that you're here, that you've taken time to watch this video. We're near the end of the 30 videos in 30 days challenge. There will be a new video tomorrow if you don't want to miss it. Subscribe, and even after the 30 days, I'm going to continue to post more videos like this, hopefully better videos than this, because trying to get out 30 videos in 30 days is no joke. And so sometimes I feel like I'm just operating at the bare minimum of what I really want to do with this channel, and at the bare minimum of what I really want to create on this channel. So if you really want to see what this channel is going to become after this 30 days, then subscribe. I would be so honored if you would join me here, and together we can hang out on the corner of creativity, entrepreneurship, and faith. But that's all for today. I'll see you hopefully tomorrow. Bye, friends.